G'day subscribers, welcome to Jive Talking Garage. You're with Jules Knight, and today we're just going to do a couple little technical tips for you. So what I'd like to start with is front brake drums. Now, these were crusty until about a month ago. They were old and rusty and dirty and dusty and all sorts of things. Anyway, I gave them to the Brains Trust, and they've machined them, taken 32 thou off them. They are in very good condition because my car was in storage for a long period of time. So they've given them back to me. Now they've been machined up underneath to get them perfectly round again. And also it's been a case of they've also primed them to seal everything up inside. So that's really good. But I thought, well, look, while we're at it, we actually need to do a little job on the outside of these, because if they're good on the inside, they need to be good on the outside. So what I've done is I've grabbed the wire brush and gone all around the outside with the wire brush on both of them. And then in here, I've given the inside a bit of a wire brush as well. But where this depression is here, this little well, well, what I did was I've used some clean kerosene, put it in a little container, and got the paintbrush happening and the little toothbrush. And also I've gotten the Scotch Brite on it, and I've given it a good go on the inside of it. So both of those wells I've cleaned up. So then what has been the case is cleaning that all out, giving it a hit with wax and grease remover. So you need all the little products that you can lay your hands on so that you get a good job. So if you've got good products, good technique, you get a good job. And so I've given it wax and grease remover. So it's a case of application on, wax and grease remover off, and then allowed it to flash off. And from that point, I've then gone straight to the black zinc. Now, this is what I use. Now, I get this from Trade Tools. So this is a direct to metal. I can get it in black or also silver. So it's a zinc galv paint, and that's what I like to use. I use it on the Mustang, and I'm also using it on the FJ. So what I've done is I've got a couple of coats on here. That's been on for about 20 minutes, and it's still got a nice little sheen to it as well. I wasn't looking for a high gloss on this. What I want is something there to give it some protection, which is why I wanted the direct to metal paint to go straight on top of it. So that's turned out really, really well. So, you know, from some crusty old brake drums, they're looking 100% better, both on the inside where they've been remachined and also primed, as well as the outside where they've been cleaned and also prep soled and now painted. But what I wanted to also give you a little tip on is this is my original flywheel. So this is the wheel that sits at the back of the engine that has two functions. Firstly, the starter motor goes against the ring gear, which turns the engine over every time you push the button and turn the key. And the other thing is, it on the other side of it has the clutch and pressure plate attached to it. So on my Ute, and I think on the engine that I've also acquired to go in my temporary motor, from looking at the receipts, I saw it's got extra machining. Now, what I think the extra machining is in this part here. I think they've actually machined out to here. Now, what that's technically doing is that is creating what's called a lightened flywheel. Now, a lot of race cars, Appendix J, Speedway, and things like that, lighten their flywheel by taking metal out of this part. Now, what that allowed it to do was it had a different power curve. So it would accelerate faster and it would decelerate faster as well. And and it was a case of if you didn't know it was there, it seemed a little bit odd. I know it was when we were comparing it against our stockies, it was like, why is this ute it revs up so quickly and it comes off so fast as well? And it was because of the light and flywheel. So what I'm going to do is, with my motor going in, I'll take this into the machine shop. They will basically machine the flat side of this. I'll turn it around a little bit for you. So this side, that will get machined. So they'll machine all the way across this face. And so then I'll have it in, I'll give it a hit with brake cleaner and wrap it in plastic such that it will be ready to go when the time comes to put the flywheel onto the back of the engine and then the clutch and pressure plate on it so it's ready for the installation. But you certainly need to do that, because if you machine it here and you're putting new components on it with clutch and pressure plate, well, that's going to remove that shudder that sometimes you get in the clutch, that stutter. So it's called a shudder. And by machining here, having good clean parts, new parts to go on there with basically a new pressure plate, clutch plate, and throw out bearing, well, you've got a great chance of actually getting rid of that shudder in the clutch that sometimes you get with a grey motor. But anyway, that wraps things up here at Jive Talking Garage for our technical tips today. So we've covered refurbishing of some front brake drums and also the good old-fashioned flywheel. But anyway, folks, don't forget to stop by Nasco Bay Jive Talking Garage and see what we're up to, as well as share, like, and subscribe onto the rest of our clips at Jive Talking Garage. Enjoy the rest of your day, but more importantly, enjoy your Holden.